Now, the American President Joe Biden is in Poland. This crucial visit, of course, comes at a time when Russia continues its invasion into Ukraine. Biden arrived in Warsaw on Friday evening to hold more talks with Polish President Duda. Now, Joe Biden visited a town called Rezov, which is located just about 80 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Biden and Duda were briefed by humanitarian non-government organizations on the situation of the Ukrainian refugees in Poland. Biden used the opportunity to call for unity amongst democracies in the region.
The single most important thing that we can do from the outset is keep the democracies united in our opposition and our effort to curtail the devastation that is occurring at the hands of a man who I quite frankly think is a war criminal. And I think it will meet the legal definition of that as well.
Now, Biden compared the Russian invasion of Ukraine to protests at the Tiananmen Square in 1989. He also referred to his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin as a war criminal. Now, Biden praised the Ukrainian people for showing a backbone in their resistance against Russia.
When you see a 30-year-old woman standing there in front of a tank with a rifle, I mean, talk about what happened in Tiananmen Square. That's Tiananmen Square squared. And look, whether it's food or blanket or cash or the care for medical teams that we send in for our child welfare specialists, they need it now. They need it as rapidly as we can get it there.
Now, ahead of this, Biden also interacted with members of the U.S. Army's 82nd Airborne Division stationed in Poland near the Ukrainian border. He said that he wanted to visit the U.S. troops to thank them for their service. He underlined what is at stake and that the fight is for the future of democracy.
So what's at stake, not just in what we're doing here in Ukraine to try to help the Ukrainian people and keep the massacre from continuing, but beyond that, what's at stake is what are your kids and grandkids going to look like in terms of their freedom? What's happening? The last 10 years have been fewer democracies that have been formed than we've lost in the world. So this is what you're engaged in is much more than just whether or not you can alleviate the pain and suffering of the people of Ukraine. We're in a new phase. Your generation, we're at an inflection point.
Now, what is interesting is that the American president, who flew all the way from the United States of America, also visited a barber shop in Poland and a dining facility that was set up for the troops. He interacted with the American soldiers and also shared a pizza with them. Now, Joe Biden will be wrapping up his trip to Poland today with a major speech. Poland is a European Union nation and also a member of the NATO military alliance. The country has taken in millions of Ukrainian refugees. It has also offered financial and military support to Ukraine. And according to the White House, almost about 10 to perhaps 10,500 American soldiers are currently stationed in Poland. Biden has also reiterated his promise to defend every inch of NATO territory. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.